So there's one more Permafrost in our deck, but this is pretty likely to find us a Sapphire. Our collector's really annoying with our prophecy cards here. Watch us at the other Permafrost here. That would be a tilt. Another Blood Ice. Okay, also kind of a tilt. You want to watch Bus? Show me which one you want. Man, it's going to be so much easier when Decklist actually has, like, full words. You want bots? You want rangers? You want Robocar? Oso? School bus? It's like playing charades with a drunk. It's like, he doesn't fully understand the rules of charades, so like he's saying words, but like, it's not useful communication, really. Alright, you're gonna get the school bus. So, played some kind of blood mid-range deck here. If we had a Sapphire here, we could go like Seer, and then like Arcane Focus. Perfect. I'm sorry, you're upset, Declan. This is what you're getting. That's really awkward. I guess Dreadend turns this off. I guess that's not too bad. And we could, like, Permafrost it. Hopefully we don't get, like, main deck Withering Gazed here. Because he's upset with me, Declan decided it would be a good idea to bang his head on the floor. And that hurt. It's weird. Strange. What a strange idea. Bang. So, okay, well, they spent a strangle on that, so they got the prophecy out of it. That's fine. Oh, that's really good for them, because now they're gonna get the rune too. That makes sense. That was a good line on the opponent's part. I wasn't thinking that they were going to get a second one out of it. Dreadend was like okay there. It was decent, better than Massacre would have been, right? They would have gotten a Deathcry trigger and he would have got my thing back. That's really good. So now every time they play a blood card, they're gonna get 2 charges. And every time, beginning of every one of their turns, all their blood troops get bigger. So we need to find an Eternal Seeker here ASAP. We're gonna get 4 looks in an Eternal Seeker, thankfully. So I think that's fine. We'll see here. We got 4 of them in our deck. So let's look for an Eternal Seeker. Swing and a miss. I'm gonna bend this. I'm gonna go ahead and play this and hit my champion power here. Looking for an Eternal Seeker yet again. And that kind of sucks because we missed on our prophecy card here, which means that if my opponent plays 2 blood cards into their champion power, they could draw a prophecy here. So we're probably going to board these Thunderfield Seers out in this matchup. They turn on, they think their Bride of the Damned pretty good too. Yeah. Yep. We might get ground out this first game, it's looking like. Yep, they get to their champion power now. I mean, that's basically Burgle's list from before we added Thunderfield Seer in, so like, I think we made the change from playing Thunderfield Seer because we thought it was better to not be playing I did not want to resource with that because it was better to not be playing Thunderfield Seer, so I think it's bad. I would not do that. I would play the Seers. I think the Seers are very good. Like, the format's very aggressive. Yep. That was the build before Seers were added. That's like what we were playing, basically. No Seekers in the top half of our deck feels real bad. Here's our prophesized card. And like, all these cards are like exceptionally bad against all this blood removal. Thankfully, oh, wait, he has Violet's Caresses in his deck, too? That's weird. Probably die to aggressive decks more often when Seers rotate out. Is almost certainly the truth of the matter, right? Hoping for a Seeker here, I guess. Now, I'm pretty sure that was theirs, because their last card took this Transmogrifade, I think. So we'll transmog this guy. And then I guess we're just putting a bunch of Exarchs of the Egg into play. Sequencing Hoagland. Alright. Alright. Oh, no, wait. No, yeah, that did what it said. Alright, so let's cut most all of my troops. Psychic Ascension in, put the Syzygies in. Do I want Into the Unknown? Probably. I guess it gets rid of their stupid, it gets rid of their thing, right? Why did I board in Cheap Shot? I don't want Cheap Shot. Why aren't there more 3-shards? So the fixing in Hex is fundamentally worse than the fixing in Magic, because like your dual lands in Magic make all three shards, generally speaking. Or sorry, let me rephrase. Your dual lands in Magic always make both thresholds effectively. In Hex, you have to pick between them. So they don't sit there and make all of the colors indefinitely like they do in Magic. This hand is going to let us all know just how much worse Arcane Focus is than Guidance. And I could focus on one here, but I'm gonna Syzygy on one because greed abounds. Honestly, part of the fact that the fixing is worse in Hex makes the game more enjoyable to me than Magic. Like, when the fixing is really good in a lot of Magic formats, like the mid-range decks just become like these really focused versions of, like, they're just like good stuff mush, basically is the only way to describe them. Like, when you can play perfect resources, you can put any combination of cards in your deck, and then like the fair decks are just like, there's one fair deck that's obviously better than the rest of them because you just put all the best fair cards inside of it. Do you want something to eat? Are we gonna try again here? Okay, pick one of the shows on the TV. Point at the one you want. Point at the one you want. Something that would be kind of interesting is, like, they could do dual shards with, like, very real drawbacks in Hex. Like, you could make a slow shard that makes 2 thresholds and doesn't give you a charge. Like, slow shard, gain blood wild, don't gain a charge. You want this one? You want this one? Okay. That one's going. The duck? Yeah, you want the duck? Look at that. That's a little extreme. I think slow plus don't gain a charge is probably more than sufficient. No, I don't think so, D. Brian, especially when, like, you factor in that you want to play cards like, you know, Hero Fall or Heart's Whisper, or like stuff with double thresholds. Like, if you were able to play like all single threshold things, it probably would be reasonable. No, we actually played game 1. I'm not sure, they must have had something come up IRL. No, we played game 1. We're down a game right now. So, like, the fixing becomes, like, could you imagine if, like, the fixing was good enough that, like, say, every aggressive deck in every shard combination could play Lasgar's Vengeance? Like, let's say fixing is great enough and you could, like, put Lasgar's Vengeance in the Deathcry deck. And then, like, every deck plays Lasgar's Vengeance, it's, like, one of the most powerful card. Or, like, every deck plays Culmination in Blood. And I think anyone that thinks taking Lasgar's Vengeance out of the format won't change the equation, just, like, isn't thinking very critically about what it's going to actually do. It's kind of annoying. My opponent appears to be AFK. Croc, Silver Talent Hero Fall. Yeah, exactly, right? Well. If I understand stuff comes up, maybe just concede then. I guess I'll take a free ladder point. The ladder closes in 2 days. Yep, they posted it's going to be on the 9th, and that's like, it's consistently been on the 2nd weekend, but like, they really need to work on like having that date posted sooner. There's no reason why it couldn't have been posted much sooner than that. Like, ideally, the CCS date should be posted at the start of the ladder season, so that way people that are playing on the ladder, like, know what they're working towards. Oh, please come back, opponent. I want to play a game. I want to try out my deck. Yay, we have an opponent. I'm gonna play Syzygy on one here, just like get this out of my hand. They probably can't interact with this card once it's on the board. But like making all of my stuff cheaper as the game goes along seems valuable. Like it Withering Gaze me starting next turn otherwise. Thought Collector, sure. Pretty good draw. So now I'm gonna go ahead and play this out. Get a second Sapphire. I'm gonna get a second blood for now. Or first blood for now. Play this Seer. Play this Arcane Focus. Get a prophesized Arcane Focus. Sign me up. It's free because of the other one. Love a bounty of the Magus. Draw another bounty of the Magus. Alright, sweet. Let's go! Syzygy sweetness. Shiggity, shiggity, swooty. Syzygy's coming for that booty. If we dodge Withering Gaze for a turn or two here, we're gonna have a real good setup. So, I'm going to hold on to this Arcane Focus for now. And the reason why I'm going to hold on to it is I would like to use this Arcane Focus to re-find a Bounty of the Magus after we've cast these other two Bounty of the Magus. I did have a nice sweep, Ulthur. Thank you for asking. Rested back up between Saturday and Sunday. Or between Sunday and Monday. So if they don't gaze me here, we get to end step bounty, and then untap bounty, and then focus and try and find a bounty again. Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we'll pass the turn here. Oh, huh. I'm gonna do a resource on top of my deck. So that way if they champ power, they get a resource. Wasn't it better to bounty pre-draw? Oh yeah, technically. Technically. Yeah, you're correct. I should have bountied before I drew my card for the turn. And now my bounties are free! Champ power before I do anything else here. For a bounty of the Magus, just like that. This draws 4 cards now. My bounties are free and they keep drawing more and more and more. Huh. That's actually a little bit tough. I'm actually going to play a shard here and then pass the turn. Am I going to play this other Syzygy out? I'm going to play this other Syzygy out. I think I'm just going to pass here. Sure, that's fine. I guess it's possible we could die this turn. I don't think I need this Dread End. We're either going to kill them next turn or we're not. Like, we get to see a lot of cards next turn, right? Like, we get a... That was not my Caress. They've only drawn 1 card off my deck, and we know it was a resource because I Fate Weaved a resource. Yeah, I think with Xmog and Runebind, we're not very likely to die. I agree. I agree that dying seems unlikely. We're gonna transmog this because it should have less than 3 power at a 2-drop, and we can re-transmog in case something goes really sideways. And then we have a Runebind to like prevent like something weird like a Culmination in Blood maybe. And like even Withering Gaze isn't that good against our current hand. It like takes the Heart's Whisper, which kind of sucks, but like it's not the end of the world. Remember, we need whenever we find our first Violet's Caress, we need at least 2 resources to cast it because we haven't played a Violet's Caress yet. But if we get back to a Bounty of the Magus next turn, we should very likely be able to combo off, because we only have Smoke Claw, Raker. Well, let's Runebind that one. And then I think the fact that I've Runebound that means I'm just supposed to, like, take this hit for 5 here. I don't think there's any reason to, like, transmog and, like, things could go sideways. Well, I guess I get a remog here. Just do this. Hopefully downgrade this Dorko. Yep, that's actually... I shouldn't have done anything! They could sacrifice their Thought Collector and draw a Bounty of the Magus off the top of our deck. God bless. They should have sacrificed the Thought Collector and tried to hit the Bounty of the Magus off our deck. I shouldn't have done anything. I should have just taken 5 there. That was a mistake. Alright, Heart's Whisper. And another Heart's Whisper is actually an okay hit, because this one's only going to cost 1. And for a Bounty of the Magus. Looking for a Bounty of the Magus. Looking for a Bounty of the Magus. At least I have 2 free Runebinds. God, what a tilt. Alright. Keep you Runebound. I can Violet's Caress this one before they attack with it. Hopefully they can't draw cards. All right. 3 shots at a bounty. Yay! Bounty of the Magus. Woo! This draws 5 cards, I believe. Yeah, I found another bounty. Yay! Storm Things. Yay! Storm Things. I think I actually... No, I'm gonna use here first. Get this going. Sure we don't deck by mistake. Yay! Bounty of the Magus. Just caress your opponent softly. Sometimes you have to caress them softly. All right, how many cards does Bounty of the Magus draw? 9 cards. All right, can't use Bounty of the Magus. Got it. Heart's Whisper. Oh lordy, I can't even. Cheapest Ascension ever. Every day we storm in. Oh no! Ivan Slagpot. Alright, how dead are we, fam? Probably pretty dead. We've Transmog and Runebind. We're gonna do our best here. This is a deck that really makes me want to play more Hex, right? This is why I enjoy. I think this arc, if they ban Lasgar's Vengeance, this deck probably has a real chance. Like, just the Storm archetype in general. Because, like, the format's gonna get way slower and more dirtily if they ban Lasgar's Vengeance. And this deck's gonna gobble up a slow mid-range format. It's more slow legs, right? Okay, so less scared. It kind of sucks that we lost the coin flip, but my opponent also did nothing for the first 2 turns. So, and this, dang it, Bobby. Dang it, Bobby. So they can sacrifice something to turn that back into an Underworld Crusader tilt. So it's kind of interesting talking about like how formats change and pivot, right? So the fact that Lasgar would be removed wouldn't give this deck good matchups against the, like, in a vacuum, losing Lasgar's isn't what makes this deck bad against the aggressive decks, right? Like, this deck loses to the aggressive decks because of things that aren't Lasgar's, like circumstances outside of Lasgar's Vengeance. What happens though in the context of the format is that this decks that are good against decks that won't have Lasgar's anymore can exist. So like these decks that are naturally good against the Storm deck will be able to prey upon, but will be preyed upon by more things without Lasgar's Vengeance. So like the decks that the Storm deck is bad against become worse in the context of the format. Not because they'll be bad against Storm, but because of other factors. Yeah, I have to block here. This feels like a Cremator or Lasgar's Vengeance. I'm pretty sure I just have to call there. And, like, that's true. Like, Lasgar's Vengeance is the thing that, like, makes sweet mid-range decks awkward in the format. Let's caress that. Dread End. Is that a card I'm interested in having? I don't know what it is. I'd rather just have this Blood Ice. It's a pretty good one. I hit their champ power too, probably. We're gonna Transmogrifade this dork. Why do we have Permafrost in this deck? To help us cast our spells, Burgle. That's kind of terrifying. Alright. I might need to Runebind that, actually, and turn it back into the other thing. Actually getting pretty close to just casting that. This again. Find. I'm gonna bin this. I'm gonna play this, then I'm gonna Runebind this Verdant Mill so they don't. I discarded a Prophesized Dread End. That's a little awkward. Definitely a touch awkward. I don't know if I should have done that. Like hitting a Dread End here would be pretty good. Jeff doesn't like drawing cards, right? Block. Probably getting Lasgard or Cremated here. I think that's fine either way. Yep. Level 13. Have a Runebind to their nothing, and we have a champ power in the bank. Yep. Not an amazing spot, but still fine. I've got 2 Seekers. I've got 2 Gifts in my deck, so I need to find one of those to kill them. I'm gonna hold on to that until we can kill one of their things. I don't expect them to have discard game 1. Alright, let's just kill them now. That's gross. Sure. No, it's gonna let me keep ticking it up. I'm gonna Runebind this. That way, if we hit a resource here, we get to replay it. Oh, that was a mistake. Now I can't gift to kill this. I should have done this and then Seeker to kill the other one. Tilt. Is there an Exarch of the Egg in their deck? What a tilt. What a giant mistake I have made. Maybe I'm just supposed to play this. Yeah, I'm probably just supposed to play this and void my other Seeker here. It feels bad. But, like, I'm pretty far ahead, I think, even if I do that. Wasn't there a Redlings deck that played Corruptor the top 8 of the Clash this past weekend? It's punished, would have gotten the resource this turn. I guess I'd have taken 3 more too, though, so like, it's not irrelevant. Oh, without playing the rune. Huh. Yeah, I hadn't even considered that. Just, like, play a 7/7/5/5 flyer. Yeah, maybe that was the line. Because, like, that keeps the Rust Bucket at bay. And, like, I just take 1 from the Exarch. Doesn't seem terrible. Yep, down to 5. We're like looking for like Runebinds here, basically. So, what happened there is kind of a feature of eggs. If you draw discard into an egg, and you discard the egg, you get to draw another card, but then they get 2 spiders. But because we're wiping all their 2s here anyways, we really don't care if they get 2 spiders. You know, more power to you. You like running Lasgars or like Lasgar's coin or coin Lasgars. I've already played 2. We should be pretty good here. I guess they could cycle coin into Lasgar's next turn. That is no longer an option because they are dead. Yeah! Sapphire Blood Burn deck, baby. Get you with the Violet's Caress. You draw a card regardless. You draw a card regardless. Okay, so Massacre comes in, Sheep Shots come in, Dread Ends come out, a Heart's Whisper comes out. I'm sure a Runebind in this matchup. Nah, Runebind's good for doing tricksy stuff, right? I actually want to cut. Just like the Theorizes, because they're kind of clunky. I'd buy that for $1. Let's do it. It's a little bit medium, but it's probably fine. We get a blood that sounds actually pretty good, right? And I get a 8 weave off of this plus a focus to hit a blood. Stop off my ready step. My opponent. Okay, they just passed their psychic. What resource? That's good for us. I actually, and this is why, again, like, I think, like, talking about how formats develop is really interesting. I actually think the Sapphire Diamond control deck gets much worse in a format without Lasgar's Vengeance. Yep. Yeah, look at that. Burgle agrees with me. I think it gets worse because you are you have to compete with a wider range of threats, right? Like, one of the reasons why the Sapphire Diamond control deck is so good right now is because the format's really focused in terms of what people are playing. And playing a control deck in narrow formats is much easier than playing a control deck in varied formats. Like Isacon's decklist is a great example, right? Like, Isacon's decklist, probably, he was devouring Diamond Sapphire control players, which does not surprise me. Am I just taking this hit here? Yeah, I think I'm just taking this hit, because if we hit a resource, I can just Exarch to deal with this guy. You want a different show, buddy? God, your attention span is tiny today. Sweet. Alright, we hit a blood. Let's go ahead and do this, and I'm gonna put a non-resource on top of my deck at this point. Play this Exarch of the egg out. Pass the turn. Which one do you want? You want the bears? Alright, you can watch Care Bears, child. Deal. I have one of those. Cheap shots are looking pretty decent plus here. I'm going to hold this Runebind for a possible Lasgar's Vengeance, I think. I'm going to let them go ahead and attack. Transmog this before blocks to see if I want to block it. Do, in fact. Maybe probably aren't cremates in their deck still. Famous last words. I guess they saw Thunderfield Seers out of us, so it's not completely unreasonable if there's cremates in their deck. I'm gonna Runebind this on my turn before I draw. Actually, I know there's a non-resource on top of my deck, right? God, that's a good one. All right, let's just, actually, I don't even really need to do that, right? Like, I have these cheap shots. I'm gonna hit this first. I caressed first because I wouldn't mind redrawing that caress. Would have been this Eternal Seeker. I'm gonna cheap shot the Rust Bucket. Play this Depth Crawler. Play this. We're in a medium spot here. Wouldn't mind drawing like a Heart's Whisper so I could generate some card advantage. This is probably I just drew Lasgar's Vengeance and want to take it to 6 attack. Spend this resource if we end up not needing it. Put a bunch of eggs in your deck. So they've got 6 egg on their face right now. Not gonna hit my champion power because I really don't have anything I'm looking to discard right at the moment. Do you have cheap shot in response to the champion power? No, I don't think so. I think I'm okay with them attacking to tick down there. I think I want to save the cheap shot for like a Gravengeist. Like, I'm thinking about cards that like are good against me in this particular board spot, and like Gravengeist is the one that shouts out to me. That's fine, you have a thing. Bind the crap out of that one. Or we'll Transmogrifade it. Joy. And again, just like not really interested in discarding either of these at the moment, so I'm just gonna hang tight on them. Web Spawn, sure. Yep. Just keep on keeping on here. They like Rust Bucket Distractor that would be bad for us. Would allow them to push through some damage here. Casualty of War, sure. Now that attack when they hit with the Death Seeker and the other thing really doesn't make sense to me. Transmog changes into a random creature, artifact, or constant that costs -1. So it reduces, it makes it something slightly smaller than it was. Alright, because I have all of these interactive cards in my hand for like a Crusader off the top, I'm just going to start attacking for 2 here. I'm just going to double cheap shot this, just like get pressure on the table. And that's a Venom, so it's going to put 4 eggs in their deck. That's great. Another Venom, please. They might concede here. We're pretty far ahead. Rats, not another Venom. So unlucky. Oh, and this puts an egg in their deck at the end of turn, too. Maybe I should have looted there while I had the Shadowborn Rider in my hand, or Shadowtail Rider in my hand. That's actually really good for them. This conscript's a 2-cost Underworld Troop every turn. Huh. Alright, I guess I'm just leaving back this Exarch on defense. Blocks most of them. I'm gonna loot. Maybe I'm supposed to Runebind that. It's kind of a tilt regardless. I guess I'm winning this race, right? It's just 4, 5. Yeah, actually, I'm just gonna attack. Like, they're dead in 3, right? Like, this is 5, and then 6, and then 6. Yeah, like, with double Runebind to, like, shield me from Lasgars and, like, clear potential blockers out of the way here, I think we're actually ahead. Pool's, like, okay. One's Deece. Sapphire Bloodburn deck, go. Oh no, why is there a sweeper in my burn deck? Somebody mixed up a sweeper in my burn deck. Oh no. Oh no. Alright, opponent is very dead here. Yellow Hat with the host. Welcome to folks coming over from Nassif's channel. We are hanging out playing some Hex Shards of Fate here this morning. It is a fully digital TCG that has a great competitive scene. They have 2 $1,000 cash tournaments that you can play every single weekend. The game has a lot more interaction than a lot of the digital TCGs that you see today. It has a change. You can respond to things in your opponent's turn by playing quick cards. The ladder that they play on is best of 3, so it's a really good focus on quality gameplay as opposed to quantity gameplay, like the Hearthstone and Eternal and other CCG ladders encourage by having their things be best of 1. I'm just going to queue up one more match here. I've got about a half hour until Jake gets home from school. Be streaming until then. Thank you everyone for hanging out here today. I really do appreciate it. There's a lot of different things you could be doing, different people you could be watching. Thanks for choosing to spend part of your day here with us. This is just 2 shards. Just Sapphire Blood. There's no Rotten Rancor Splash in this. Would love to go first. Opponent is playing a Mono Ruby deck. Sounds pretty good. It's got Transmogrifade and Exarch of the Aghadet. I'm going to go ahead and put a non-resource on top of my deck with the Sapphire Ice. Wouldn't mind some more cheap interaction here. We've got a second... We've got a second Ice and another Heart's Whisper to try and guarantee more resources. So, if you're one of the Magic players that's hanging out from Nassif's channel, Hex uses the digital design space to reduce variance in a lot of nice ways, as opposed to like Hearthstone that kind of amps it up to the max. So when I play this resource, it basically allows me to stack my deck. I get to go ahead and pick Seek Oh, I'm an idiot. I was explaining what I was doing, and then I picked the wrong thing. So I chose Seek Fortune, which means I'm going to guarantee draw a resource next turn. I kind of wanted to choose Seek Adventure to draw a non-resource. That's what I was talking about doing, but My opponent has played an Scapegoat, which is a 0/1 for 1 with Rage, 1 in Speed. So every time this attacks, it gets +1 power permanently. And whenever this becomes blocked, it bounces back to my opponent's hand. I'm going to go ahead and play that dual resource to get a Blood and play this Exarch of the Egg out. Exarch of the Egg is a 1/3 with lethal, so any amount of damage it deals will kill a troop. And when it comes into play, it puts 2 spider eggs into my opponent's deck. And when my opponent draws one of these eggs, I get a 1/1 unblockable spider. Sure, you have a baby Yeti. If they attack with both of these, I'm probably going to eat the Yeti and let the Scapegoat get through. The baby Yeti here. I'm not playing Darkheart. I have a Cremate here to finish this off. Look like it. A second Exarch of the Egg is a phenomenal draw. I'm going to go ahead and use this to put a non-resource on top of my deck again here. And then you saw both of these light up when the second one came into play. So this doesn't just trigger on itself. It puts eggs into my opponent's deck whenever any other Venom, which is the creature type here, enters play. So this one triggered with both of these. So now there's 6 eggs in my opponent's deck. Another baby Yeti, sure. I'm going to go ahead and Heart's Whisper here, which lets me Fate Weave and then draw 2 cards. I'm still looking for some action here, so we'll do non-resource again. I'm going to go ahead and Champ Power, see what we find. This Eternal Seeker, so I'm playing what's basically a control deck, but it has kind of a Reanimator sub-theme. My Champion Power here allows me to draw a card and discard a card, and I just binned a 7-drop here. And then my Mordrom's Gift returns a troop from my discard pile to play, so I'll be able to put the 7-drop into play on turn 5. If they don't have Lasgar's Vengeance, we're in a good spot, but... You know, I've read this book before, and they always have the Lasgar's Vengeance, so they have Lasgar's here. They're going to have to clean our board up. Lasgar's Vengeance does 4 damage to me and every one of the troops I control. Hashtag ban Lasgar's Vengeance. Yep. Really, really powerful card. This is going to put me to 10. Their Champion Power just does 3 damage to me, so that's going to put me to 7. This Mordrom's Gift is going to let me... My Eternal Seeker is a 5/5 with Flight. Then when it comes into play, it voids every troop, or every permanent in play with the same cost that I choose. So, how are you liking this build compared to the old? If you ban it, I won't be able to play Hex. Redlings is plenty playable without Lasgar Shredder. Be like a very playable tier 2 deck. I think I like this build. It seems kind of sweet. We have, we don't have Aegilis to stabilize with, but we've got like Violet's Caresses in our deck that can let us, what's the word I'm searching for? That can let us, kind of gain some life, which is nice. We'll go ahead and Thunderfield Seer here and then Arcane Focus and see what we get. If we can dodge the second Lasgar's here, we'll be in a good spot. These Thunderfield Seers have a mechanic called Prophecy, so you saw they both spun off an animation when they came into play. So the next action I draw out of my deck is going to draw 2 additional cards, 1 for each of these Seers. Matriarch of Flames. Oh, that's really good. I messed up here. I should have played around this Matriarch of the Flames by leaving a Transmogrifade up, because they're going to be able to attack and create a burn to the ground, which is basically a fireball. So now I really need to draw Runebind so I can deal with this, really need to draw Runebind so I can beat this burn to the ground that I allowed them to have by not holding up Transmogrifade. So because Hex has a full buy-sell trade secondary market, they've said they're never going to modify cards. Also, just like ignoring the market part of it, Hex is more than one format, right? Like Hex isn't just standard. Like just because a card's too good in standard doesn't mean it's too good in PvE and it's too good in Immortal and it's too good in whatever casual formats people are wanting to play it in. Like So yes, they could modify it, but they don't modify cards, and I agree with the reasons why they said they don't modify cards. Another Matriarch of the Flames. Sure. So I'm going to go ahead and Transmogrifade this before it can attack and make another burn to the ground for them. I think the Empress deck is okay. I don't think it's like anything to write home about, but it's got play to it. God, if we had a Runebind, we are in this game by so much. Pew 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 pew. Yeah, buddy. So Runebind transforms a card into a mysterious rune. And then when you play an X card, when it recasts from the mysterious rune, you get to... Oh, and we hit spiders! Oh, puppy! I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky. Oh, I'm so lucky. All right, so long there. You're just the worst, right? I agree. On the list of things that are terrible in the world, I am definitely closer to the top. Oh, puppy! More card draw! Come on, where's my Violet's Caresses at? Ooh, more insurance. Who's having a good time? I'm having a good time. Do 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 do. There might even be merit for pushing with this, so I can just like threaten to kill them in 2 here, but I think I just want to be conservative. Like, I feel like we're pretty far ahead with this Runebind draw, so let's do it. Do it! Do it! Righteous Outlaw, sure. Turn him into a random 1-drop here. Likely losing speed for them. Yeah, have an 0-3. Alright, dead in 2, and I have a Runebind to stop any shenanigans that this Mono Ruby player could possibly have. Burgle, give me reasons. Is this deck good? Tell me why this deck isn't good. I feel like it might not be terrible. I'm also very lucky though. So being lucky makes any deck not terrible. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, hit me. So they're trying to draw Lasgar's Vengeance as the out, but they can't even cast a Lasgar's Vengeance, so you know, get got. Ooh, baby. Let's go. Oh no. Oh no, he saw the line to block. Oh no, he saw the line to block. Let's re-transmog this into a different 1-drop. Oh, weird. No more power. Yeah, I feel like I just, like, cut some of the clunk out of the Reanimator deck, right? Some Massacres in here. Cut the Dread Ends. Got some Theorizes. And a Heart's Whisper? Is that what we're doing with my life? I think that's what I'm doing with my life in this matchup. Yeah, I think this is good. Eternal Seeker is just, this card's a hell of a drug. I really like Eternal Seeker. It's so powerful. Were we on the draw that game? I think we were on the draw that game too, right? Was I on the play? Now I'm gonna have to go back and look. Oh yeah, because I played played Exarch, and then he played Goat. Yeah, so I was on the play. I think this hand's too slow. I think I just like want a Seer or a Exarch in my opener. They also mulliganed. How do we feel about this hand? It's kind of close. The 2 Eternal Seekers probably puts it over the. Yeah, we've just like 4 clunkers. Let's go down. Yeah, this hand's like Dece plus. It needs to hit a blood. It's possible these should just be bloods. It's very possible these should just be bloods, the 2 permafrosts. I kind of wanted something that could like help cast I wanted something that could help cast Heart's Whisper on 3. Or like a lot of the time you don't have to have Heart's Whisper on exactly 3. Lucky, lucky, lucky! Lucky, lucky, lucky! Alright, an opponent stumbling and dying. We're getting lucky. Ask me what it's like sometime. It's glorious, chat fam. It's glorious. You put permafrost in any deck you want when you're as lucky as I am. Is this the I've stumbled and died concession? Oh no. Oh no. Not another baby Yeti. The baby Yetis are coming for me. Take a cheap shot at one of them. I love when my cheap shot conscripts something that conscripts something. Oh, baby. Yeah, so my opponent deserves to lose this match because their baby Yetis don't have pumpkins. When you're too rude to give your baby Yetis pumpkins, you don't deserve to win anything. Chirp. No blocks. Well, that draw means that we're gonna go full aggro. Blood Sapphire burn, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, get in there. 3 points of damage, Rooney. Oh, now. I'm gonna Runebind this. I'm gonna Runebind this. No, I'm supposed to have a compressor. It shouldn't do that anymore. Another Venom. Oh baby. Oh baby. Get to recast this guy. Yeah, it compresses me now. God bless compressors. Alright, I guess we could be dead to a Lasgar's, right? So I should probably have been more conservative with this Runebind. Correct, you cannot Runebind the effect of the Sabertooth. It is not a card. It's not a card anywhere. Yeah, I think Theorize is okay as card selection. Like, it's fine in a control deck. Like, we're playing a few of them. Have they only attacked once? This is I have Lasgar's Vengeance and I'm ticking it down attack, but then they're dead on the crackback, right? Oh, yeah, they're dead to this guy. Unless they have a fireball. Blood Sapphire burn, getting it done here, ladies and gentlemen. Blood Sapphire burn. Opponent kept kind of a mediocre hand there. At the end. I mean, like, my opponent kept a mediocre hand there and we were on the play for game 1. I wouldn't be surprised if we're, like, not great against the aggressive. What does Exarch do? So it's a 1/3 with lethal. So if it deals any amount of damage to something, it dies. And then when it comes into play, or another vending comes into play under my control, it puts 2 spider eggs in my opponent's deck. But just like, we're playing it because it's like a 2-pile 1/3 with lethal. Don't you rain on my Blood Sapphire control parade, Burgle. Don't you rain on my Blood Sapphire control parade. Yeah, Hex is going to be having a PlayStation 4 release, so Sony's supposed to be doing some kind of official announcement. I don't think the posts are up on the main Hex site yet, but they teased some of it. It is going to be coming to the PS4. At any rate, Jake's going to be home from school probably at some point in the next 20 minutes or so, so that's not enough time to guarantee to play another match. So I'm going to go ahead and have to sign off for the day. I really appreciate everyone hanging out. Make sure to follow me on Twitch and Twitter for notifications of when I'm going live. I should have my new streaming schedule for the fall posted later tonight. I need to sit down and talk with Christy about what days and times she's okay with me streaming, you know. Happy wife, happy life, and all that jazz. You think we're a dog to Diamond Sapphire? I'm boarding into Storm, Burgle. And I feel like if I really wanted to hedge Diamond Sapphire, I could just, like, put a PA in my main deck. I guess I don't have any Withering Gazes in my 75, so maybe that's an oversight. Things to think about. At any rate, peace, folks. I'll get you on later. I'm gonna see if someone is here to host. Are there any other wonderful people watching Hex that playing? Yeah, Nero's on. Perfect.